To the various organizations to show your support and cooperation. The judiciary and staff who have come out in numbers to witness. The Honorable Acting Prime Minister, Attorney General and Minister, the Acting Chair and Senior Management Team, Registrar of the High Court of Fiji, I deem it
the Honourable Chief Justice, who is also the Acting President of the Republic of Fiji, members of the Judiciary, the Chief Registrar, members of the Fiji Police Force, and members of society generally, all the other people associated with the construction of this building. Bula Vinaka, and a very good morning to all of you. It gives me much pleasure to be here, as the Honourable Chief Justice highlighted, and our Acting President, that Nasinu, of course, is a major corridor in the Nosori-Lemi section of Fiji. Nasinu is the largest municipality in Fiji, in fact. And of course, we have the bulk of the population here because it is the largest municipality. It also means that government has a responsibility and indeed a duty to ensure that government services are brought home or brought closer to where people actually reside. The reality, of course, is also the Honourable Chief Justice highlighted that a number of cases are now being dealt through the Nasinu courts. So there's an overall plan of government with the view of bringing services to people closer to them. You've seen in this particular corridor, we've had the Makoi Maternity Hospital, we've had the Vala Levu now Health Centre, which is now a hospital level or subdivisional hospital level, open 24 hours, and various other government amenities and facilities are being put into this corridor. Primarily for that reason is to make people's lives a lot easier for them to be able to access those services. In fact, today, one of the reasons, and my apologies for the delay that I came late to this function, is because we've got another major project that's happening in the West, which will be in the health sector, where we're looking at the public-private partnership has already been announced, which will bring about a number of procedures and surgeries that are currently not available in Fiji, which will substantially change the entire medical landscape in Fiji, but will also mean that many Fijians who are currently traveling overseas won't actually have to travel overseas, so they can be in Fiji and receive those services. That's part and parcel of government's objective, to ensure that those services are brought into Fiji, are provided in Fiji, and indeed the quality of the services actually continue to improve. Continuity of quality of services being improved essentially is very important because it empowers people. As you know, that Parliament last week approved the information bill, which means that essentially Fijians now will have the right and the ability to indeed access information pertaining to them. So if somebody down the road over here applies for a LTA taxi permit and they don't get it, they have the right to know why they didn't get it. More so than that, they will actually have the ability to access documentation that led to the decision being made for them not to get the taxi permit. The same way, for example, they can access information from the Fijian Police Force. They can access information from various other agencies, Lands Department, Titles Office, wherever it is, where they make various applications to respective agencies or any decisions that are made about them. Similarly, they have the ability now and the right to have the information corrected. So if, for example, there's a case that's been filed against them and it's within the court system and some court clerk has got the name wrong, misspelled the name. As we know, many times these names aren't corrected. People simply accept it. They say, well, it can't be changed, it's now in the system. They now have the right to have the name changed. They have the right to have all the personal information changed. So this is part and parcel of what we call the democratization of day-to-day living. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is very pivotal to empowering people. And that's part and parcel of government's objective. So on one hand, you provide the infrastructure, you provide the facilities and services, but also on the other hand, you provide the ability to be able to empower them in terms of access to information, getting correct information, and to be able to know why and how decisions are made about them individually. This fits in overall, of course, with the overall objective of the Fijian Constitution, as the Honourable Chief Justice has highlighted, that now under the 2013 Constitution, the judiciary is also given financial independence and also administrative independence. Previously, those who worked in the judiciary fell under the public service rules and were driven by appointments to the Public Service Commission. Now, of course, they have their own set of rules, they have their own set of appointments, they have their own set of guidelines. And that is giving true independence and a practical independence to the judiciary too. So many of these changes are taking place, and of course, none of this can be done without good leadership. And we'd like to publicly acknowledge and thank the Honorable Chief Justice for the leadership he's provided, in particular what some people may have called the trying times, from 2007 onwards until now. And Fiji has immensely made that great transition from the days prior to 2014 to what we have now. And indeed, of course, many people are still trying to play catch up with the transitions that have taken place. So I'd like to publicly acknowledge and thank the Honorable Chief Justice, who's also acting President, for his leadership, his guidance, and indeed his wisdom in how he has actually led the judiciary. Of course, the judiciary now is much larger than what it was. When in 2007, there's only one criminal court judge or high court judge in Lautoka and one civil judge in Lautoka. When the bulk of this, economy is dependent on the Western Division, it was actually quite, inappropriate, for want of a better word, where you had the court system in the Western Division so slow. We only had a couple of judges. Today, of course, it's got a whole lot more judges. And of course, we need to continue to build up not just the High Court, but also the magistracy. And of course, the bulk of the cases over here comes to the magistrates. I understand the statistics are at least 80% of the cases within the court system in Fiji come through the magistrates' court. So it's important not only to have the right numbers of magistrates, but also to have the right quality of magistrates. Because if you have good quality magistrates who do their work independently and diligently and apply the law, then it means there's less pressure, of course, on the higher courts in terms of appeals. But similarly, we need to be able to provide a conducive environment for the judges, for the magistrates, and various other staff that actually work to give their support to the magistrates and the judges. Because if the work environment is not conducive, they obviously will not necessarily do well. The level of professionalism will actually deteriorate if it has reached that particular level. So even things like filing away or putting away of files, filing files, how you deal with the public, the space for the public, the space for the witnesses, where people actually come, for example, enforce orders and various other aspects. We need to be able to address those areas physically, both, and also professionally. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to also reiterate what the Honourable Chief Justice has said, and I'd like to thank the Housing Authority. We had some discussions and negotiations, and I see the acting chair of the Housing Authority over here. I'd like to thank him for the agreement that we've reached. I think we did pay them some money because we needed to show it on their books and to have the land transferred to us. But to have the modern court facilities being built here actually also gives a sense of a township, if you like, to Nasinu, where you have all the major amenities would be available in one spot. So thank you once again also to all the stakeholders that have been involved. I'd also like to urge the construction company to please forge ahead. We don't like delays. I'd also like to thank Shah from the Construction Implementation Unit, who's here and who's been leading the project together with the Chief Registrar for the efforts. So, ladies and gentlemen, I once again would like to thank the Honourable Chief Justice and all those who've been involved, and thank you for your presence here today. This, of course, is a momentous occasion, and we look forward to the opening of the new court facilities. Vinaka, and have a good day. Thank you.